All right, we have some wild breaking news. New York City mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo was caught early this morning agreeing with racist, Islamophobic comments on Sid Rosenberg's radio show. Now, this drama that is unfolding in the last few weeks of this New York City mayoral race is incredibly captivating, but not really because of Andrew Cuomo, mainly because of the way that Zoran Mamdani is repeatedly slaughtering whatever is left of Andrew Cuomo's career. Last night on the debate stage, during their final debate, Zoran repeatedly trounced and essentially said, Andrew is losing the last thing that he cares about, which is power. It's slipping from his hands. I want to play you some clips from that, but just to back up, let's talk about the comments that Andrew Cuomo made on Sid Rosenberg's show. Because if you guys didn't know, my dad is Muslim. He was born in America, but my grandpa immigrated from Syria in the late 80s and since then has started a business. My grandpa and many of my family members on that side have immigrated from Syria to the United States and have become doctors or heart surgeons, contributing members of society that make this country better. Now, my Muslim family members live in Indiana. This is taking place in New York, where everyone wants the same thing, just equality for them, their family, their ability to pray when they need. And, Andrew Cuomo made this crazy comment. Nick Garber reported it first. Cuomo talking to conservative radio host Sid Rosenberg this morning. Quote, God forbid, another 9/11. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat? Cuomo asks. He'd be cheering, Rosenberg says. Cuomo paused and chuckled before saying, that's another problem. Just the blatant Islamophobia. Do you know how much Islamophobia and hatred and xenophobia my Muslim family members went through in a post 9/11 America? I mean, even living in Indiana or near Chicago, people were very nasty towards Muslims for a decade, but mainly the few years after 9/11 was very, very heated. And now people are making comments like this when New York City has clearly made so much progress. I mean, we can listen to the comment itself very, very quickly.
Because Sid, that job is a scary job. You wake up as mayor. You wake up as governor. Any morning, there's a prison uprising. There was just a mass shooting. There's Legionnaire's disease. There's going to be a fiscal collapse. Wall Street's moving to Dow. Any given morning, there's a crisis. And people's lives are at stake. God forbid another 9/11. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat?
Hey, I could. He'd be cheering.
It's another problem.
That's another problem, Cuomo says. Even John McCain stood up for President Obama when that one lady was like, he's a Muslim. John McCain said, no. You have it wrong. He's a family man who loves his family.
But can you imagine that?
No.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine the steady-handed leadership of Zoran Mamdani. I mean, look at the way he responds with such class. By the way, double check to make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed, where we cover progressive politics like this. We also cover a lot of the regressive politics of the current Trump administration. We give you the entire spectrum, so make sure you're subscribed below.
We sat down here on Sid Rosenberg's radio show. Your opponent, Andrew Cuomo, said this, quote, God forbid another 9/11. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat, end quote. Rosenberg responded by saying he'd be cheering. Andrew Cuomo said, quote, that's another problem. I want to get your reaction.
This is disgusting. This is Andrew Cuomo's final moments in public life, and he's choosing to spend them making racist attacks on the person who would be the first Muslim to lead this city. And frankly, it's not about me. It's about the fact that there are more than 1 million Muslims who live in New York City. And to have our faith be smeared and slandered by someone who at one point was considered a leader in the Democratic Party showcases the fact that bigotry and racism is not exclusively a Republican problem. It is also a problem within our own party. And it is time that we turn the page on Andrew Cuomo and those that would tolerate this kind of rhetoric from him as well.
Yeah, I can hear the passion and emotion in your voice. It's personal for you.
It is. I mean, to describe myself and describe Muslims in this manner, it begs the question of why this kind of rhetoric is acceptable when we're speaking about Muslim New Yorkers. Because all Muslim New Yorkers want is to feel a sense of equality and respect that every New Yorker deserves. And even that is being denied by the former governor.
Muslims in America were horrified uniformly by 9/11. Nobody was cheering after 9/11 happened It was obviously an insane tragedy. The idea, as Cuomo tries to say, the idea that Muslims in America would be cheering after an attack on our home, on Muslim, I'm not Muslim, but on the home of Muslims, I mean, they're American too, is absurd. And here's just the kill shot at the debate last night, when the metaphorical kill shot, when Zohran really just lands it.
Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
Well, Mr. Cuomo, I don't know what kind of response that is. The entire time they tried to harp on Zohran's age, but age isn't always a function of how good of an operator you are in the government. And Andrew Cuomo is a perfect example of that. This entire thing is absurd. And the fact that this open Islamophobia, xenophobia, racism, whatever you want to call it, the fact that it's still happening within our own party needs to be called out. Zoran Mamdani then said on Twitter, "It's not just what Andrew Cuomo is saying, it's who's funding him. The single largest donor to a pro-Cuomo super PAC is Airbnb co-founder, board member Joe Gebbia, who promotes vile and racist messages about immigrants. And this guy talks about how voting to deport migrants is a vote to protect women. Don't let the left gaslight you. Mass migration kills culture." This guy is just posting some insane stuff, kind of getting towards the great replacement, the idea that everybody in this country who's not white needs to be deported. It's insane. Nobody wants violent criminals coming into the country. Liberals don't want that either, and we should be very clear. Nobody wants violent criminals illegally coming into the country. But that's not what these Republicans are talking about. They're just profiling people based on their skin color and then reverse engineering, saying that they're violent criminals just because they're brown. That's what's happening over and over on the Republican side, and that's what we need to stand up against. I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate the videos we make on the Adam Mockler channel, providing some moral clarity, double check to make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you all in the next one, and peace out.